Hey kid, how's it going? It's Prince Tree. Today's gonna be a little bit different. So today is a pretty big day. If you don't know, I'm a very big PSG fan since 2014. I believe the date was April 2nd, 2014. So I'm going to Manhattan today to watch the game with my friend Abhinav. The deal is I have to record the day, so that's what I'm gonna do. And record the game, well, not the whole game, but record the reactions of the fans and myself of what happened. So that's what I'm doing for today. And I guess after this, I'll talk about sports and the importance of sports or the impact of sports. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. This is the intro now. This is the intro. So I guess we're doing a vlog today. Yeah. Alright, we made it to Manhattan. I don't know if you can even hear me. Oh, it doesn't really matter. We made it to Manhattan. Waiting for Abhinav and Connor, I'm assuming. In front of the PSG store. Probably gonna buy a hat and a hoodie. That's all I want, is a hat and a hoodie. I can't do a hat, hoodie, and a jersey, that's too much.
signs I like from their fans away to our right. Just all of a sudden picking up a good breeze. Cameron attacks. He's out. Just on target. Another really good chance for the corner. Something they should have taken. Just see that start before the game and apparently we're in it half time. Switch.
Hey kid, how's it going? Hope you like that little vlog thing of my day on May 31st, 2025. PSG versus Inter at Champions League finals. I was at Legends Football Factory. It was a good time. In fact, I want to go back for the food and try it out, see if it's good, you know, but that's not the point. Anyway, this part of the video is for me to explain my personal history with PSG, how I became a fan, and yeah, just that, right? So my personal story is like this, right? It was April 2nd, 2014. I was studying abroad in Paris, so I stayed there for 5-6 months. I had some friends who were also studying abroad, but they're doing like rotations. They're staying at a city, staying in 3 different cities, each one for like 2 months. I wanted to be immersed into Parisian French culture as much as I could, right? That's why I wanted to stay in Paris the whole time. Anyways, so what happened was we went to a cheap bar that night. I'm talking about like I think at the time it was like a beer, like a beer was like €1, 150, you know, €1.50, something like that. Anyways, we're in the back of the bar, and everybody in the bar were watching it on this projector, right, on a giant wall. And we're in the back, and PSG's playing against Chelsea, and we got there before the game started, and they scored the first goal. They went ballistic, and I went out there and I was, you know, cheering with them and whatever, and that was really cool to be immersed in that moment. Then I went back in the bar with my friends and sat there, we're talking, and the conversation wasn't bad. It was just wasn't as interesting. And then PSG scored a second goal, right? And that made me go back out there and join them, and like they were just screaming and yelling. Some people spill their beers. It was beautiful. Then I went in the back again, right? And when I was sitting there, I think I caught this bug, this anxiety. I would call it this anxiety bug, this sports bug, this whatever this bug is, right? And I thought to myself, what if they score another goal and I'm not there to see it? What if I'm not there to be in that moment where everybody's cheering all together, right? So that's what I did. I just left my friends. I didn't say bye. I didn't say, hey, I'll see you later. I just literally just left them. And there was another person there. She happened to be studying abroad with me. Her boyfriend was there too, and we're watching the game. And then they scored that third goal. I don't know what came over me. I don't know what happened. All I do remember in that moment was sort of being accepted, I guess, for once in my life. I mean, I've been accepted before, but I think this is more like the first being accepted, like in a group setting, in a large group setting. All right, I said that because, you know, I'm Black, African American, whatever you want to call it, right? I grew up in a mostly white town, so I never feel like I fit in that way. I'm a first generation Haitian kid, so to a lot of my American friends, I don't feel like I fit in with them. And to a lot of my Haitian family members and friends, I don't feel like I really fit in there either. I feel like some sort of weird anomaly, some sort of weird kind of outsider. And the only kids who I really fit in were kids who were also first generations, like myself. Like I'm talking about high school and also in college. But when they scored the third goal and the game finally finished and ended, the whole city was just screaming "ICI C'est Paris, ICI C'est Paris." And I know I'm not Parisian, right? But goddamn, I felt like it. Like literally, people on the streets were hugging me. People on the streets were cheering me on, and the whole city was just wrapped up in, I guess, some sort of unified love of a thing, and that was great. I would not change anything about it. So since then I've been a fan, and I have watched PSG fail multiple times trying to get the Champions League. I've gotten you know, we went to the final. I think we went to the final twice within the 11 years that I've been watching them. Yeah, within those 11 years, I've seen PSG lose multiple times, losing finals twice. And to be honest, even though I've been a fan for such a long time, I haven't bought any merchandise from PSG because I've always been, I won't say always, no, I've always been broke. I've always been broke. I've never been financially stable enough to buy or treat myself to those things. And my wife bought me my first PSG jersey, Mbappe. He was my favorite player at the time. I mean, to be honest, he's still kind of a favorite player. But she bought that for me. It doesn't fit anymore, but that's beside the point. But yeah, I the day of, I bought myself this hoodie, bought myself this hat. It's a real nice hat, I'm not gonna lie. And then I bought myself one more hoodie. It's with the signatures of all the players who who helped make this championship happen. And to be honest, I think I spent, how much money did I spend? I spent $300. That's a lot of money, but you know what? Hey, this is for me. These 3 pieces are for me. This is my personal trouble. This is my personal trouble. So, I think the last thing I wanted to say was that I didn't record it because my battery died during the game. But at the end of the game, there was a man who was crying, and according to social media, which may or may not be true, it says that his wife passed away 6 months ago. I know that Luis Enrique's daughter passed away in 2019 from, I think, bone cancer, I want to say. And now that I have a kid myself, just the thought of that terrifies me, and I don't know how I would personally live and manage and move forward, but what I heard Luis Enrique, what he said about his daughter, he says he's very lucky. He's like the fact that he had 9 years with her, and thousands of happy memories. I thought it was a beautiful thing. So that's something I think I would probably use for myself. But the last thing I wanted to say was that after they won, I just started crying. I just broke down in tears. I was hugging both of my friends, Abhinav and Connor, and I cried. And I think it's a little weird because, like, technically speaking, I did nothing to help this team win. Right? I have never been to a Parc des Princes game live. Right? I watched the game at home. I like their stuff on Instagram and post it on my stories, but like me personally, I've never done anything with this team. And I think the reason why I resonate so much with this team is because I do feel like they're also that I myself am a sleeping giant, not in the sense of like, hey, I'm going to be an international big pop star or something like that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about in terms of things that I'm capable of doing, and I just don't, it doesn't always come to fruition. Right? Sometimes beyond my control, sometimes within my control. Right? And I do feel like there's oftentimes where I'm progressing and making things happen and things are moving, I collapse, or I have all the right pieces around me and it just doesn't work. So I feel like I kind of resonate with PSG in that sense. So I'm hoping that in my personal future I get in trouble, and then I continue to build on that. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Also looking forward to another Champions League trophy soon, because this PSG team is very young. I believe they're like a 24-year-old average age. They're 24 years old. I think they're the youngest team that was competing. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to for PSG in the next couple years and seasons. Of course, we're gonna win more Ligue 1 stuff. That's kind of a given. I do think that also potentially maybe more people will come to play in Ligue 1 and try to beat against PSG, because now they're the club to beat. And I think the last thing I want to say was, at least during the game, the first 2 goals for me were nice. The third, to me, kind of set aside my anxiety. I was like, all right, we actually have a. Now that we have it, I mean, we always had the shot, but the third goal is kind of like, hey, we can actually win this, and we won't actually collapse. And then when I saw Kvara go back, play defense, super hard defense, that, you know, that made me even believe it even further than before. The fourth goal was just like, hey, this is legitimate. This is who we are. And the fifth goal, I think, was a statement. I think the fifth goal was a statement. It was like, yeah, Europe, PSG is actually here, right? And also to give credit to Inter, right? They've had a great run too. They had a great Champions League run, right? They had, I think, like the most exciting semifinals probably in like Champions League history, and to make a comeback against Barcelona nonetheless. So also a team with, you know, deep history of winning. But all that to say is that, like, hey, you know, I'm a PSG fan, and I still will be. And I guess my advice to you is, be a fan. You know, be a fan of something. Just don't go too far. Don't kill people over it, right? Don't do that. Don't murder people. That's not good. But yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. Anyways, D3ar, I love you.